Hey everybody, it's your Sam and I'm here with another video. So today I want to talk about some books that I've read so far in the month of May, a little bit on the end of April too. I'm hoping to kind of keep up the momentum for reading books so I can do a little book review at least once a month here on my channel. I've been doing pretty good about reading and all that good stuff. I have 4 books today, and now I read a few more than these books right here. The other books are manga and they're not really safe for work, so in case my channel gets monetized, I don't really want to pop them up here and talk about them. Now, without further ado, I'm going to dive right in. I try to read at least one research type book per month, and this month was Appalachian Witchcraft for Beginners. This was kind of a haha, I've got proof now kind of read. I spotted it in Barnes & Noble and I just automatically picked it up without any questions, without even reading the back of the book, because my whole life I have lived in Appalachia and I have seen some things, I have witnessed some things, and I have partaken in some things that can be considered witchcraft. Most of them were with my family. None of them claim to be witches, none of them claim that magic is real or anything like that. They are very stout Christians, so to speak. But they would do these things that are witchcraft. So this kind of explains why and how some of the people of Appalachia are indeed witches, but they don't portray themselves as witches. One is a safety reason. Witches are still kind of, banned from society in a way in certain circles, especially here in the Bible Belt. But it's also because of the religion that they have. They cannot have magics. They cannot have things that they are tied to other than God. But this right here shows how Christianity and witchcraft and magics intertwine into Appalachian witchcraft. Highly recommend this read. It is a very good beginner's book for becoming an Appalachian witch. It has a lot of similar spell work kind of things that I have witnessed in my life and actually performed in my life. Highly recommend this. Appalachian Witchcraft for Beginners by Auburn Lily. The next is going to be the books that I've read for fun. The first is For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. This is a trilogy. So I've got the first book, I've bought the second, and I'm looking for the third, I think. I'm going to make another trip to Barnes & Noble pretty soon, probably. But the trilogy is called the Winter Night Trilogy, and these are fairy tale retellings, and this is obviously Red Riding Hood. You can tell by the cover with that. But it's got some Beauty and the Beast vibes too. I really enjoyed that. And this is what if the wolf was a man, and what if Red had some magic, and what if the wolf and Red were tied together in a way that saved the world. That's what this is all about. I really can't wait to read the next one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I adored the little prophecy that was in it. I'm not really a prophecy person, even though I wrote a prophecy and I'm no hero book one. There's 2 lines that are kind of repeated throughout the book. The first daughter is for the throne. The second daughter is for the wolf. And that is how this whole book, this whole mess starts, is because of that prophecy and what the people have to do in order to survive, or so they think. Highly recommend For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. The next are 2 books in a trilogy. There's actually a couple of other books that are kind of side stories or the story told in another perspective. And I'm probably going to end up picking those up too. But the first one is 10,000 Stitches, and the next one is Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. The next set of books are actually a Regency fairy tale. I will have the link to my review on the first book of this trilogy in the cards here and probably at the end. And this is 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater and Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. So books 2 and 3. First off is 10,000 Stitches. 10,000 Stitches is about a housemaid that kind of falls in love with her lord. He is well above her status, but she just can't help herself. He's different. He treats her differently. He doesn't treat her as something that doesn't exist. She is seen by him, and therefore she just kind of falls in love with him. And she doesn't really mean to, but it happens. And there is a fairy that comes along and tries to help her marry this lord, even though she's a housemaid. And there's all kinds of things that ensue. There's a lot of wittiness between the characters. I absolutely adore this series. There is a little caveat to this one. This one has LGBTQ plus representation. The main character in this falls in love with another girl named Mercy. So Abigail falls in love with Mercy, and Mercy falls in love with her. And that is very sweet and special to me, especially portrayed in a Regency era type book. So if you're looking for something like that, here you go. As I said, Abigail is the main character. She's actually the daughter of a couple in the first book. And so you can see how their story progresses from the first book into this one really well. It's very neatly tied up. There's still fairies, and there's a lot of wittiness as well in this one. So it's very much Jane Austen-like still. But Abigail, the main character, is investigating a series of deaths in high society. And that's when she meets Mercy, and Mercy says that she's going to help her, but there's something a little bit off about Mercy. But the more that Abigail and Mercy spend time together, the more Abigail falls in love with her, and the more Mercy starts to return those feelings. Out of the three, I think that out of the trilogy, I still think that the first one is my favorite, mostly because I like first books better. They are supposed to be better, I guess. They're supposed to have that hook kind of thing. But the third one is my second favorite, almost overtaking the first, honestly, just because of the characters and the way they play against each other and the wittiness and the romance in there. Those are 3 of the books that I have, or 4 of the books that I have read so far this month. And the links to them will be down below. They are not affiliate links anymore. I have to kind of renew that to see if I can become an Amazon affiliate again. But most of the links that I'm going to have are going to be from Barnes & Noble. So if you like shopping with Barnes & Noble online, go ahead and follow those links. Otherwise, you can easily just search them in Amazon and buy them there if that's your preferred method. Highly recommend going into a bookstore because that's just comforting. Anyway, thank you for watching as per always, and be kind to one another out there. Be kind to yourself. Keep writing, keep being creative, and I'll see you next time.